Welcome back, everybody. It's about a week until Christmas, and we have a lot of Christmas shopping to do today. But it would be a little disingenuous to do so without the proper attire. That's more like it. I don't have a Christmas tree yet, so that's number one on the list. Let's go ahead and grab a tree. And we'll get into some shop topics later. We'll have a whole discussion. I have some things I plan on talking about that I think will be insightful when it comes to general business. And then we'll get into aspects about the grooming industry as well. But yeah, enjoy this little holiday montage. Found one. You know, usually I would strap down this tree, but I think it's heavy enough to stay without having to strap it down, because I don't have to dig out the straps in the truck, and I honestly don't feel like doing that. So we're taking our chances. Honestly, the universe would have to hate me for this thing to fly out. This looks like a good spot for it. Ho, ho, ho. Problem solved. We got a tree. Now to fill the bottom with presents for me and my boy. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start talking about some important things when it comes to business, and then also some of the aspects of the grooming business that I think are important to share. First off, I think I did a pretty damn good job with the decor. What do y'all think? Anyways, this is going to be business advice, okay? The new year brings new goals, new ideas, people start new businesses, and the biggest piece of advice I can give you when it comes to starting a business is make sure you can generate revenue without throwing a bunch of money at something. People make the mistake, especially if you haven't ran a business before, it's your first business. This is great advice, I think. It's advice I give to a lot of people who are wanting to start a business, okay? If you have an idea and you think you can make it work by throwing a bunch of money at it, you are more than likely very mistaken, okay? The approach that I take when it comes to running a business is if you can get it started, if you can gain momentum, if you can start generating revenue with zero to little investment, upfront cost, then it'll probably work if you save up money or if you have money to throw into it, into the fire to be able to make it grow, then it'll be a good idea to do that. But if you start a business thinking you can throw a bunch of money into it, or if you think you need a huge upfront capital investment to get it running, it probably won't work. Because one, especially if it's your first business, there are a lot of things you need to learn along the way to be able to make it work. Maybe if you get into a business and you've ran a couple before, now you got the money to throw into a new idea. Now you have the know-how of running a business, you have the confidence to do so, and you know the ins and outs of that industry. You can throw some money at it and perhaps it'll work. But for your first business, make sure that you can gain momentum, generate revenue, and have a proof of concept before you start throwing a bunch of money into it, if that makes sense. So keep in mind, if you're thinking about starting a business, fantastic. Just don't think that you have to throw a bunch of money into it initially to be able to make it grow. Now, I take my personal story with Fluff and Buff into account whenever I say this. With Fluff and Buff Dog Grooming, I didn't start with owning a shop. I didn't go into a bunch of debt to open the shop, not knowing if it was going to work or not. I built a proof of concept. I built up a client base first, independently, on my own, with zero to low investment. And then I knew I had the confidence and the ability, the capability to run and grow a shop. If you don't already know my story, I'm not going to waste your time with that whole thing. But basically, I'll go into it a little bit to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I was dog walking for a while. Then one of my dog walk clients asked me if I can bathe his dog. I said yes. I didn't have a tub. I didn't have any professional equipment to do so, except I knew of an apartment complex down the street that had a dog tub amenity that I can get into for free without anyone knowing. So I took his dog and bathed him over there, okay, and made money like that. And I realized that I can make money doing that, more money than if I was just dog walking. So I was resourceful. Okay. And what this teaches, starting a business with no money teaches you a lot about yourself. Are you resourceful? Okay. Are you competent? All right. Are you able to generate nothing? Are you able to generate something out of nothing? So I took his dog, bathed him at that dog wash station, and did that for many, many dogs. Set up a Facebook page, started running advertisements for that Facebook page, started getting appointments booked, taking dogs to that dog wash station until I got kicked out of that one. Then I went to another apartment complex that I knew about that had a dog tub. Went to that one, got kicked out of that one, went to a third one. And after the third one, keep in mind, these aren't physical locations I'm paying for. These are just simply places that apartment complexes I knew of that had dog wash stations that I could use without anyone knowing. And I built a business basically out of the backyard of these apartment complexes. Okay, got kicked out of 3 of them. By the third one, I had a huge client base that I could take and open a shop with. I had a proof of concept. I knew it worked. I knew I had the capability to client communicate. I knew I had the capability to manage a schedule. I knew I had the capability to learn a skill that I had no idea about and learn it on the fly and provide a great service once getting good at it. Okay, so that's the idea that I keep in the back of my head when I give this advice of starting a business with zero to low upfront cost. Okay, learn about your capabilities first. Start a business with nothing. Grow it into something, have a proof of concept, then take it and run. So what we're going to talk about are the 4 non-negotiables of owning a dog: proper grooming, proper training, proper exercise, and proper diet. They are non-negotiables that I developed through years of working in the dog industry and then also owning dogs myself. As everyone starts the new year, people start new routines to help them in life, to help them achieve their goals. And the same thing goes for owning a dog. So let's go ahead and go over the first one: proper grooming. Whether your dog needs a full haircut or they just need a bath, grooming is essential, okay? For pit bulls, for shih tzus, for poodles, it's all essential. Whether it be just cleaning them up or trimming their nails or brushing their teeth or cleaning their ears, certain type of grooming for dogs across the board is pretty much essential. We get a lot of backyard dogs. Unfortunately, they come to us and they're just left out in the backyard, which is completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. But they come with overgrown nails. They come with plaque built up on their teeth. They come with ear infections because ears aren't cleaned out properly. They come with fleas. So in order to maintain proper health in your dog, regular grooming is always recommended. Second one, proper training. Just because your dog is nice, just because your dog is very, very sweet, does not mean that they are obedient. Okay, there's a difference between having a sweet dog and having a dog that listens to you, and people conflate the two together. But proper training is essential for all types of dogs, big, small, Rottweiler, Chihuahua. It is essential, just the basics. They don't have to do special agility training at all, but proper recall, sit, stay, no aggression with food, things like that need to be trained in order to have a dog in a proper household, I believe. Third one, proper exercise. And you don't have to put them through a whole boot camp to make sure that they are completely agile. But we get a lot of dogs in our shop that are completely overweight. They can barely stand for so long. These are, you want to make sure your dog's healthy. Just like if you have a kid, you want to make sure your kid's healthy and not overweight. Same thing goes for your dog. And a lot of that has to do with the physical activity that they do on a day-to-day basis. Take them for a walk, take them for a run, just make sure they're physically active, getting their heart rate up. And like I said, a lot of these seem pretty obvious, but people don't implement them at all for their dogs. A lot of people do. I'm not saying all people don't take care of the dogs physically, but we do get a considerable amount of people not thinking about the physical fitness of their dog. The fourth one is diet. Give your dog proper exercise, but if you're feeding them shit, then, it is what it is. But nonetheless, regular kibble tends to not cut it anymore for a lot of dogs. It tends to mess up their stomach and so on and so forth. And plus, there's a lot of weird additives with a lot of these brand name kibble. But if you can swing it, raw diet's great. Try it out for your dog. Start them on slow. Do your proper research to see if maybe it's compatible for your dog or not, and take it from there. Or just higher quality kibble or something that There are some dog foods you can get from the grocery store that are like meat-based, and so you can try that out as well. But nonetheless, 4 non-negotiables, I believe, if I were to own a dog or if I was giving recommendations to a client or someone who owns a dog: proper grooming, proper training, proper exercise, and a proper diet. I hope that makes sense. Pretty tempting, starting my boy on a respectable journey. What a day. Just got done with holiday shopping. We have a few extra things we need to do before we end the day with training. For those of y'all who don't know, I train martial arts, have been for a long time. And I do that to ensure that the dogs that we handle at the shop are the most protected dogs in the city. I am the protector of the shop, keeper of keys, top dog. I need to make sure that everyone else is protected. So, ending the day with training, I need to, we still need to run payroll, so we'll do that in a second. Need to call the bank to open a SEP IRA because my accountant told me to, so we can lower our taxes. And what else? What else do I need to do? Just little things here and there. Nonetheless, it's coming to the end of the day. This has been another vlog. Thank you for tuning in.